Hello there. You like my Halloween costume? Scary, isn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, it is Ask the Author Friday, a surprise live edition, completely unexpected live edition of Ask the Author Friday. Uh, Full story, I was expecting to work tonight, but I think people would rather be on the sidewalk, walking up and down the sidewalk trick or treating, than sitting in the restaurant this evening. Who knew? Yeah. Who knew by combining business business trick or treating and resident trick or treating that businesses would be doing more business passing out candy? Who knew? We're making this work. This is a special surprise live edition of Asking Author Friday. I'm your host. Feel free to submit some questions. Let me find some paper here. Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, that's what happens when you record live. By the way, yeah, this. You're gonna ask about this, right? I miss this. Definitely the best part of my 2025. The most surprising part of my 2025 was my ever running for city council. The guy who could barely successfully put two sentences together in front of someone, in front of a single person he liked, ran for city council. And then a primary happened, but yes, we acknowledge a primary. We acknowledge that a primary happened. We are running again in a couple of years. Nice. Oh, in the meantime, I always do that. In the meantime, nice Halloween costume right there. All right, give me a second. This is what happens when you record live. Oh, here's. Okay. Here's a bit of paper. All right. Let's start with a couple questions. Favorite Halloween memory? Going to my grandma's and grandpa's down in Allegan. Halloween was my grandfather's birthday. That's what it meant to me when I was little. And what does Halloween mean to you now? It's just another day. I was talking to someone pretty important who is still pretty important to me, and it's their father's birthday is Halloween, so that's amazing. That's amazing for them. I can see why it's their favorite holiday still. Excuse me. Excuse me. That's what happens when you work 3 jobs over the summer. What was your favorite costume growing up? My favorite costume growing up. Oh, it had to be the year that my grandmother all my grandparents are gone now, so it has to be my late grandmother. My late grandmother painstakingly hand sewed a Green Ranger outfit for me and a Pink Ranger outfit for my sister. that was a good year. And she paid such attention to detail that that costume came out better than anything in a store. Which tells you that she was literally sitting there watching the television with us because we were watching it one day when she was watching us. So you can tell that she was really paying attention to the TV set with us because that's the type of person she was. You've obviously seen a lot of them this year. So, what was your favorite costume this year? I swear I must have seen 20 Stitches out walking around tonight. Stitch is still very much a thing. Oh, yeah, they just, Disney just made the live action Lilo and Stitch. I completely forgot. But Stitch is very much still an icon. I must have seen 20 Stitches out there tonight. Favorite horror novel? I can't say I have a favorite horror novel off the top of my head. It's just not a genre that I generally read. All right. Where does horror find its way into your books? Where does horror find its way into my books? Maybe a random werewolf or zombie will pop up somewhere in some scene. I don't. I got to think about this. I have to consider this. Yeah. I think I've written some short fiction about witches. Yeah. Yeah, there's some short fiction floating around out there about witches out there on OneDrive someplace. All right. You're of age. What was your favorite Goosebumps book? Okay. Both volumes of The Haunted Mask. Let's Get Invisible. Let's Get Invisible was the first Goosebumps book I ever read. I very much enjoyed it. What number? Phantom of the Auditorium was a good one. And whichever one was about the masked mutant, the one about the comic book villain come to life. I liked that one. Moving on. Let's move on from these scary tales, these October shenanigans. What does November mean to you? Let's break out the Christmas movies. Let's do it. If Halloween means little to me anymore, then Thanksgiving doesn't do anything for me, really. Let's break out the Christmas Vacation, the first two Home Alones. What is it? Jingle All the Way. Let's do this. Let's think about our Christmas card list. We'll pause for a moment and eat cranberry sauce and stuffing and pumpkin pie on Thanksgiving Day. Will you be participating in NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month? Yeah, I'll participate just to remind myself that I am still, in fact, a writer. I know I haven't self-published anything in like 3 years now. I'm sitting on so many manuscripts that I should just go ahead and self-publish, if not send to an agent. But yeah, I'm getting ready for NaNoWriMo. I built the set list today. I think I know what I'm going to write. Well, I built the playlist and I think I know what I'm going to write. All right. Tell us about your National Novel Writing Month project. It's going to be a school for mutants. I mean, a school for superpowered individuals, young superpowered individuals. Because the X-Men aren't really a thing from Marvel Comics. Disney didn't already write Sky High. Filmation didn't have something called Hero High back in the day. But yeah, I've got a cast of characters brewing in my head, and I'm gonna at least write the origin stories for the young heroes, I think, or I'm gonna incorporate that in a little bit. Little back and forth between. I think I'll do 8 young heroes and so many young villains. Just as many young villains, excuse me. Yeah, eight heroes, 8 villains in training. Just getting them prepared for a society that is not prepared for superpowered individuals. We'll see where this goes. Yeah, because very much Marvel didn't already make the X-Men. And I digress. Disney's Sky High apparently doesn't exist in this universe. And we don't talk about Filmation's Hero High. We just don't. Filmation in the 1970s was Fat Albert. Groovy Ghoulies nonsense, Sabrina nonsense. What did I just say? Hero High nonsense did not exist. My apologies to the animated version of Shazam. All right. This has been Ask the Author Live. Thank you, everybody who joined me tonight. Next week, I'll have something pre-shot prepared again, I promise. It was on a fluke that tonight my job in the restaurant just wasn't happening for me. You all have a good Halloween weekend. Stay safe out there, folks. Celebrate responsibly. I got a costume party to get to later. As concerned citizen Kent. All right. If you have any questions for future weeks, feel free to hit the comment section down below. If you like this or any of my other content, feel free to subscribe. Thanks. And yes.